What is this, open season on white people? Man, I just was looking through my email and a few of my links, and I noticed we got 5 stories within the space of like 5 minutes. Why don't we take a look at them? Starting out in a suburb of Detroit. A little bit too easy. But watch this fella. I don't know if it's a fella or a lovely lady, to tell you the truth, but he, she, it is very big. Chase a couple of white people across the intersection and steal their purses.
Now, let's take a look at some new video released late Friday by Detroit Police Department of a robbery just off Michigan Avenue in Corktown. They want your help in trying to find the thieves. Now, this is a little frightening. It happened right across from Slow's Barbecue on Michigan Avenue near Roosevelt Park back on November 8th. You can see the victims trying to get away, but one of the robbers pulls a gun and takes their purses. If you know anything about this, please call DPD. Now take a look at these 2 still photos of suspects. Police got these shots when they used one of the victim's credit cards at a gas station.
Good evening, Devin. Police tell me that second suspect is a woman, and she was a patient here at this doctor's office, and tonight she is in jail.
We got a lot of calls on a recent armed robbery and critical assault of an area doctor.
Those calls and tips led to new information to the violent assault of a Dearborn doctor, Melvin Hoberman. Local 4 told you about the attack last month. Now, Dearborn police responded to the doctor's office on Grindley Park. That's where they found the 75-year-old psychologist going in and out of consciousness. Police say he was stabbed in the legs between 15 to 16 times.
Our detectives worked tirelessly and immediately arrested Emmanuel Vaughn.
Monday, police announced they had a second suspect.
The investigation did in fact continue, and I want to report today that a second subject, Jasmine Moore, has been arrested in connection with that crime. And it appears that Miss Moore may have been a patient and or an acquaintance of the doctor.
Now, they both are charged with assault with intent to murder, armed robbery causing serious injury, assault with intent to do great bodily harm, less than murder, assault with a dangerous weapon, and conspiracy to commit armed robbery.
It's tempting to wonder what kind of relationship that psychologist had with his patients. Was he the tough love kind, looking people in the eye and saying, hey, take responsibility for your own life. Get your act together. If he is, he'd be the 2 out of 10 kind. Or maybe he was the 8 out of 10 kind, saying, oh, you poor darling, you are a victim of relentless white racism all the time, everywhere. That explains everything. So don't try, because you can't win. Yeah, and if you rob me, I won't like it, but I'll certainly understand it. Anyway, let's move up to one of these places where this is not supposed to happen. How about Concord, New Hampshire? I've been there. This fella and his lovely lady decided they didn't like it when somebody came up to them in a movie theater and told them to keep it down. Oh, have you heard that story before? If you've heard it once, you've heard it 100 times, right here in my books, in my videos, and in my stories. If you're in a movie theater, you can go confront a bunch of black people making a lot of noise. Go ahead. Just be ready for the pushback. Just be ready for a violent reaction. That's all I'm saying. Go ahead, tell them. If you're not ready for the reaction, then you better think about whether you want to do that or not. Anyway, they actually got charged with rioting. Hooray! Starting a riot in New Hampshire. Funny, I was looking up the lovely Finesse Ayala. She's the lovely lady on the right there. Just a couple years ago, she was doing the same thing in a restaurant. I think she actually punched the cop in the face while she was at it. She was in a fight. That wasn't a fight. That was a full-on assault. Why don't we move over to Chicago, to the Loop, the upscale area, the place where nothing is ever supposed to happen because black people commit crime on black people in black neighborhoods and white people commit crime on white people in white neighborhoods. That's why in this neighborhood, according to the theory, there should be roving groups of white kids roaming this neighborhood, beating the hell out of commuters, beating the hell out of people just going outside to have some lunch. That doesn't happen. What does happen in Chicago, according to the CWBChicago.com, great news site, is that this group of fellas just came across a guy eating his lunch. It's like, hey, you're eating your lunch. That's what you do. We are going to assault you within an inch of your life because that's what we do. What got my attention was how it happened again the next day. Another mob attack. A large group of offenders who robbed him. Blah, 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 blah. Last, they all had dark clothing. They were black men, dark clothing. One of them had dreadlocks.
Please, sir, I want some more.
So we know the numbers. I mean, we know enough about the numbers to know that the numbers are wildly out of proportion. Is this kind of thing happening 10, 15, 20 to 1, black versus as many times as the white people do it? Oh, hell yeah, easy. Noticing those numbers is a good idea. Oh, that's a good idea to stay safe, especially if you're in a movie theater. But only if you don't want to make the black kids angry.